Good evening and welcome to tonight's regional news. We tell you a rather startling story now. Tens of millions are going hungry in Latin America and the Caribbean as the COVID-19 pandemic sharpens a regional malnutrition crisis to its worst levels in decades, according to the United Nations. In just 1 year, from 2019 to 2020, the number of people living with hunger in the region rose by 30%, or 13.8 million people. A new United Nations Regional Overview of Food Security and Nutrition report said. While the coronavirus poses its own health threat, the pandemic's economic fallout has also meant empty cupboards. Months of lockdowns and travel restrictions hit informal jobs in particular, in a region where missing one day of work can mean having little to eat the next. Women are going hungrier than men across the region, the UN has found, as food insecurity disproportionately affects the most vulnerable people in society. In 2020, approximately 42% of women experienced moderate or severe food insecurity, compared with 32% of men. Child malnutrition has also spiked in certain countries like Haiti amid the pandemic. In Trinidad and Tobago, prisoners at the maximum security prison in Aruca, Trinidad and Tobago, have reportedly threatened to kill 13 prison officers before Christmas, one each week, if the officers are not transferred from the Wayne Jackson building. This comes after 2 prison officers were murdered days apart last Friday and Monday. Prison officer Trevor Serrett was the first killed at his vegetable and fruit stall in Valencia last Friday, and on Monday, prison officer Nigel Jones was shot dead in Siparia. The threats were confirmed by Prison Officers Association General Secretary Lester Walcott. Walcott said prison officers attached to the unit are now unwilling to work unless certain security measures are put in place. And now for a very interesting story. 2 first-time mothers welcomed their bundles of joy hours after Barbados took the bold step to become a parliamentary republic. Born first at 11:19 a.m. on Tuesday, November 30, Barbados' Independence Day, was a baby boy weighing 6 pounds 9.9 ounces. His mother is 30-year-old Sherer Garns and his dad is Jamal Harewood. This is the first child for both parents. Second, delivered by cesarean to a 19-year-old Crystal Lawrence, was a baby boy at 12:05 p.m. He weighs 5 pounds 13 ounces. And just after midday, a third baby was born just before 1 p.m. Delivering her son at 12:58 p.m. was 24-year-old Letitia Rashid. He weighed 5 pounds 7.3 ounces. And now we tell you that the wife of notorious Mexican drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman has been sentenced to 3 years in prison for her role in helping his Sinaloa cartel. Emma Coronel Aispuro, 32, pleaded guilty in June to charges ranging from conspiracy to illegal drug distribution. She also admitted to helping Guzman escape from a Mexican prison. She could have faced life in prison, but U.S. prosecutors asked for a shorter sentence after she expressed remorse. Her husband, 64, is currently serving a life sentence in Colorado. And internationally, authorities say a 15-year-old student opened fire at his Michigan high school Tuesday, fatally shooting 3 students and injuring 8 others in an attack that prompted teachers to barricade classrooms and students to send panicked messages to family and friends. The shooting at Oxford High School in Oxford Township, a tight-knit community in a suburb about 35 miles north of Detroit, unfolded around 1 p.m. when a boy, a sophomore at the school, started shooting a semi-automatic handgun. The 3 deceased students are 16-year-old Tate Meyer, 14-year-old Hannah St. Juliana, and 17-year-old Madison Baldwin. Meyer died in a patrol car while on the way to the hospital. Of the 8 others who were shot, 3 remain critical: a 15-year-old boy, a 17-year-old girl, and a 14-year-old girl who is on a ventilator. That was all for tonight's regional news. Thank you for joining.